So last week I had a really, really good week on the stock market. I placed overall there was seven trades. Well, one that had going from the week prior, but overall all winning trades, all in the green. Always good when you've got that as a day trader. And overall, I got the whole profit for the week of £3,073. So I was very impressed. Happy for yeah. Would I say I'd be impressed with myself? Yeah, I guess I could say I was happy with myself with the profits that I got. And yeah, it was really got off to a great start with the AGMH that went up. That went up on the Monday. It started out quite. It didn't really do much. I mean, it gone up a bit. Uh, a market open, but not much, and then it seemed to just shoot up around 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I wasn't even looking at it. I think it was just before noon. I then got out, and I just thought, well, that's almost double, So I was thinking, shit, I'm getting out of there. I'm taking profits, and so yeah, it was just about the right time. But I could have held and maybe even made a bit more. The day after on the Tuesday, AREB, American Rebel Holdings. I was saying to myself, I don't really want to be placing a trade today after the big trade I had the day before. Ended up though, I couldn't help myself. Looked at the market, saw a good opportunity here, and it wasn't much. But I just was like, it doesn't seem to be moving all that much. Let's just take profits while you can. So yeah, measly £34 profit, not much, but hey, some profits are better than no profits, right? The Wednesday. This one, I seem to remember this one, IVF. So I believe was it a halt about 10 minutes into the market open with this one, I think. And I ended up with a £274 profit. I think that was pretty much the best I was going to get in that situation. I might have, if I had bought earlier, I believe I would have even been able to hold and make a bigger gain. But I think I got out at about the right time on that one on the Wednesday. Didn't see anything much happening with the stock, and I believe it went down not that long after that, and there wasn't really many other plays at that point. It was the best setup I could find. So £274, hey, not too bad, right, for a day's work. On the Thursday, the 1st of May, so I placed two trades. I had Zcar. So Zcar, I think there might have been a halt at that point when I placed the trade, and I think I was even intending on buying around maybe. I think it was maybe like around $11.20, but I ended up being fortunate and getting an order placed at $10.71. I think at that point, I think it was like you're talking within about 30 seconds. I'd made that profit. I mean, £450, 30 seconds is pretty darn good. Almost too easy, right? But that was one of those ones. Big volume. I believe there was a couple of halts that day on Zcar, I think. So again, it was another pretty good trade on there. This one, the £270 one, I believe that was one that was, I think it was like a cup and handle one. It was, and I think I held for 5 minutes, and then I got out of there, and I got a profit of £270. I think again that was pretty much the best, based on on that one it was best. Pretty much that was the best I was going to get in that situation. So again, I can't really complain. Got a profit there. Now we get to the Friday, and this was you get some funny feelings as a trader. Sometimes you say to yourself, "Oh no, I don't want to do anything stupid here. I don't want all the work that I've done this week and then to fuck it up with and placing having a bad trade, not selling, not cutting losses quick." But this day I was okay. I could have done better on this one, but I was all right. So PLRZ was the one, I believe, that might have gone up to like, I think it was like something like $1.20, something like that, right? This was just about a minute or two into market open. I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes into market open, and it had been going up around 59-60 cents, and then it started going down a bit, and then it was getting to around 52-53 cents. And at this point, I just felt it, bought, and then I believe I may have held for I think anything from about 5 to 10 minutes, and or maybe it was even less. I can't remember, and then got out of there £287 profit. And this was a later one. I was a little bit maybe annoyed because I ended up checking. I think I'd promised myself I was only going to place one trade last Friday, and then I see, oh shit, So there's been a halt. It halted, I think, at 74 cents, and it just keep going up and up and up. And then I think it had gone down a little bit. So I guess at this point was it a kind of a FOMO trade? Yeah, I suppose it was a FOMO trade, fear of missing out. But at the same time, there was still that momentum there. I was still looking at the chart. It didn't look like that had hit its peak. There was still like a little bit there. There was still like a quick scalp to be made there, and I was able to get £250 profit there. So again, not bad for a day's work, and overall to get about £530 profit on a day, that's pretty good, right? But yeah, so overall, yeah, it was a pretty impressive week. And sometimes you'll get that as a trader. Sometimes you will have an all-winning week. You can have an all-winning month. It can really go that well for you. I've had that as a trader. I've had an all-winning month. Had a few all-winning weeks in general. And yeah, it's a nice feeling. You've just got to keep that consistency. But the market was really good overall last week. You could just feel it. You could just feel that no one was getting really burned at the morning panic after market open, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Stocks seem to be kind of still going up gradually. They maybe shoot up a bit at market open, they cool off a wee bit. And then after maybe around, talking like, 10 a.m., they start to go up a bit more, and maybe even go up a bit more around, 11 a.m. to noontime. So it was a pretty good week in the market last week. This week, though, I'm sensing it's a little bit harder in relation to maybe pre-market. I had a couple of losses yesterday. I was able to make a few place a few winning trades as well. Overall, I was down for yesterday, I've done okay today though. So with today's, there was a couple of good plays today. I mean, it wasn't. Would I say it was? It wasn't easy. I didn't sense it was. There was the opportunities like last week, but there was still definitely good plays there. But you always have to watch with these pre-market ones when you're talking stocks that are up anything from around 150%, 200%, and you want to get in there and get your 10% scalp. You got to be really careful. Um, I placed a trade on AIFU Inc. So I placed a trade. It was at 22 cents around 10:20. It was about 22 cents. I think, where are we at here? And then about 10 minutes later, I was able to make a profit. I sold at 23 cents and I made a profit of £110. So that was not bad. That was they'd say, if I'm looking at charts and what people are saying on social media, they expected to be a breakout around the time I'd bought it. Maybe it was just under 22 cents when I bought it. It ended up being a bigger breakout at that point around 11:40. Missed out on that. But hey, was able to get a profit on there, so I can't really complain. Got what I got, and yeah, no, that was fine. And then we get to Foxo Technologies Inc. Foxo. So I had placed overall. I had to double check. I placed 4 trades on Foxo today, so that was really the one that got me some money. So first trade was at 11:13, and I placed that at $2.03, and then I sold, and there was a halt. I believe I just bought after when there'd been a halt at that point, and then I bought quickly. But then I quickly sold, and that was at 11:25, and I sold at $2.22. There's a high at $2.26, a low of $2.13. So to sell at $2.22 is not bad. You're at the top end, so that was a good one. The second trade was at 11:56. So it had gone down quite a bit at this point. It was at $1.72, and this was where I believe there was another halt. It looked like it was going to go down. I think it halted at 163 for 5 minutes. Then it started going up, and it just, from looking at the chart, it looked like that was fine. That was perfect. It was like there was going to be a bounce. So I bought it $1.72. $1.72 I bought it at, and then I sold it at $1.89 5 minutes later. So that was not bad. That was again. That was. So you're talking just under £300 for that one. So that was another pretty good one there. So yeah, I think overall, Foxo, there was a lot of potential with the stock. You see from the chart, even at that point there, 2:36 p.m., and then you hold. You're holding for half an hour. You made yourself a pretty good gain there. You're talking anything from 20% ish gain, on the stock. That's pretty good. So there was opportunities. There was opportunities galore here. It was a little bit dodgy though the way it went down. And a couple of these. This is the thing with the pre-market stocks; they have been going down after market open. So you do have to be very careful. There was one losing trade I did have though, so that was at 12.24. I should have known better with the chart. I just thought it was maybe a FOMO one. Maybe just thought I would get away with it and get a quick scalp. I bought at $1.96, but it wasn't going anywhere, so I cut losses quickly. Sold. I sold it at $1.92, so I had a loss in that one. And my last one, I bought. I think this was it just was the best I could get, but the chart was right at the time. So it was at 6.20. And it was at $1.69. And then about 50 minutes later, 16.37, I sold at 178. But the high was 180. So pretty much the best I could have got. And I sold for a profit. So, yeah, can't really complain. Doing okay right now. Some shaky moments in the market. Wasn't quite as easy as it was last week, but a lot of opportunity out there. A lot of great plays for if you're a day trader. They might not be A+ setups, so to speak, but there's still decent setups there. We can get yourself some good gains. It might not be anything. It might not even be a 12%, 20% gain, but you can definitely get yourself some good gains there. 4%, anything 4-6%, and you're able to place a few more than 3 day trades a week. They can add up, and you could be doing quite well for yourself. So just going to see what the market brings me tomorrow, but there always will be opportunities for us traders, and there's nothing like it though. There's the highs, the lows, the blood, the sweat, the tears, so to speak. But I like it though. I enjoy it. But that's me for now, guys. But feel free, though, to check out some of these more trading videos that I've done. I had covered the trade that I did on AGMH last week. You can check out on the top, click the top left. You can see that video that I did there. That was, I believe, on the day that I made that trade. But hey, pretty good. About $4,080 gain from last week. Just hope I can keep it up this week, though. But that's me for now, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.